be recycled? Please raise up your hand. Very good, nearly everyone. So in New Zealand, we have these clearly labeled recycling bins, and most people are aware of the importance of recycling. But when I ask the same question in China, nearly no one raised their hand. Actually, 70% of the things that could be recycled in China are not recycled. And in most housing estates, there is only one indiscriminate trash bin, where people throw everything into one bin without even recycling or sorting. And even if there are some separate bins in public places, people don't know what things are recyclable, and they just throw things randomly, regardless of the size. Actually, this is a battery recycling box, but we can see that there are a lot of cigarettes and other trash in it. It's really pathetic. Currently, most of the recycling is done by recyclers. So these people go around and search for recyclable materials from the trash cans on the streets, or they go house by house and buy the recyclable stuff from household. And for example, if I have a plastic bottle, they will buy it from me for 5 cents, and then they sell the bottle to a recycling station for 10 cents. So that sounds pretty good, right? But the problem is most people don't have an effective way to find these recyclers. So I want to throw something recyclable, but I don't know how to get to them, so I just throw them in the trash. So what our team wants to do is that we want to build a really effective bridge between the common people and the recyclers, and really make this going.
We agree that recycling is a huge problem in China right now, but before we put on our own solution, let's look at the social contents in China. You know, like everybody here knows that China is a huge country with 1.3 billion populations, but New Zealand is like 4 million. That's a huge difference. And right now in China, smartphones are really popular due to a low price, which can be as low as 50 New Zealand dollars. That's a pretty good price, right? And people do almost everything on their phone. They hold on their phone every day for texting, reading, and online payment. But in China, it's covered by Alipay and WeChat payment system. And also, you seem like why they're looking at phones so many times today. They're playing games, and they like to compare their score to other friends on a leaderboard. But you may think, as a question, why we randomly jump to smartphones but not recycling? Let's Boyan answer the question.
So we already know that the problem right now is that people are disconnected from the recyclers. Thus the link for recycling is broken. And because everyone has a smartphone, the solution is quite simple. We connect the people with the recyclers on our platform, which we call WeLink. It is a link for use, reduce, recycle this idea. It is an app for the phone, a connection between the people and the recyclers. It is like the Uber for the recycling business, pretty much. And people are always lazy, so we built all the functions we need inside this one app. Before you can start recycling, the first thing you do is go to our instruction page and learn what can be recycled. After you have collected the recyclable things, you can schedule a pickup service, and the recyclers will come to your house. When they're at your house, they can use the price calculator inside the app to calculate the price that should be paid, and then pay you online in the WeChat payment system, and we will charge a 1% commission fee, which is our main source of income. Then the data collected from the price calculator will be quantized into your contribution for the environment in points, and be ranked on the leaderboard with your friends on your social media. Now this leaderboard and the online payment are the two main motivations for people to keep doing recycling, keep contributing to the environment, and of course keep generating profit for us. And this business model has two main advantages. First, we are working with the WeChat platform, an open platform with 550 million active users. That's one in New Zealand. And they are all registered with their credit card information and ready to pay. And there have been many apps that have used this platform and set successful precedents. And we are also likely to gain some government support, as first we are contributing to the environment. And our data can be used by them to improve the regulation on this currently unregulated business of recycling.
With all those advantages we have, our targeting population should be first household family and senior citizens, because they typically take care of all the housework, and they're willing to do recycles but do not have knowledge of what can be recycled and which cannot. And also, people just don't do recycles because they cannot find the recyclers when they need them. Secondly, students also can be our targeting population, because students has huge amount of books and papers from schoolworks. And if they just leave those books at home, it would take too much space. And why don't just sell them for money and save the environment at the same time? And let's look at our early adopters. we think our adopters should be teenagers, mostly students, because they're in touch with trends of technologies, and they are also the most active population of social media. They can help us to spread the app.
Having targeted these populations, our marketing strategy is the following. First is on the WeChat platform that we've mentioned with a huge amount of users. It is also a social network, so people will spread this app on this platform. The second is by the word of mouth. We have also put out a survey on a high school's website, and 600 students reported that their parents are very interested in this if it's put out. And we're also going to get promotions from paying popular social media accounts to advertise for us. And we can also cooperate with environmental organizations and companies who want to build a more environmentally friendly image. The recyclers will also welcome our app because first, we eliminate the redundancy and conflict in their work, while we are also maximizing their income because we're bringing more customers, more recyclable things for them.
Okay. Since Boyan has brought up so many possible channels, just let's be practical here. Let's look at our actual cost. One of the biggest parts of our cost is renting for the server, and this number is based on the most expensive server in Shanghai. And you may wonder why in the initial stage, our developing app is almost free because Boyan can do all the coding. But in the future, we need to hire more professional programmers, and will cost us more money, but that can be covered in our future profits. And as mentioned before, we need to promote our QR code on social media, on WeChat platform, so that's the area money spent. And that 500 yuan on promotion fee is used as little rewards to send for the first 50 sign-ups every month to encourage more recyclers to join our program. So the total cost in the first 6 months can be fully covered up by our starting fee, and our future profits can cover the following costs. To move on to our financial sustainability, as we can see from 2 charts, that's for the user number and that's for the profit. Our profit is largely affected by the user number increase, so I will walk you through how we conducted the increase rate. Based on all the reports releasing from existing app companies, the increasing rate of user numbers per month in the first 3 years after the app is releasing is ranging from 50% up to around 400%. So based on the average number, we predict that our increasing rate will be around 160% and 180%. So we start from 400 basic user numbers, which is mostly high school students, our classmates, and their parents. We can easily reach 13,000 users in the first 6 months, and eventually reach 462,000 users by the end of first year. And thus we can say, we can easily predict that by the end of the first year, our profit will be 13,000 New Zealand dollars per month. And in the end, how can we measure our, how can we quantify our success? There are 3 ways. And the first is based on the number of app downloads, and the second is how many successful transactions have happened between individuals and transactions, and in the end is the amount of materials being recycled.
So after all, what we really want to do is we want everyone in China to recycle and know the importance of recycling. And with our app, recycling is super easy. You just tap on a phone screen and someone will come and pick up your recyclable waste and pay you money. And for the recyclers, they'll get much more customers and they'll also have more profit. For the environment, there will be less waste and there will be more materials for reuse coming from recycling. And it's also very good for the economy. According to an estimation, efficient recycling in China will produce about 62 billion New Zealand dollar for Chinese economy. And most of all, our app will increase the social awareness for recycling and environmental protection.
As you can see, our app has a huge target population. It has a wide range of applications. We're also based on the powerful WeChat platform with a lot of users, and these together, combining with our research, we can predict a very promising and profitable future for our platform. Our app also perfectly solved the problem of proper garbage disposal, while we are improving the recycling, more things are being recycled. Thus, we will leave a very profound and positive impact on the Chinese environment. And with this app, we can build a better future for the Chinese environment. Thank you.
Yeah, so now we'll have a 2-minute Q&A with the judges.
I've got loads of questions. I thought that was fantastic. I don't know your waste system at all in China. One of the things I have is potentially, you know, if you really could access that number, you would end up with a massive flow of resources. You know, a massive flow. Where does it go?
So
Now, if you created this and you generated the potential flow of material,
right.
where does glass, paper, plastic?
So currently there are some recycling facilities or recycling stations. They actually, like for example, they take out the metal from old battery and convert the metal to something useful. And if we create this, maybe there will be more companies that will be willing to, the materials still go to the companies like this, and they will just recycle the things that the recyclers sell to them, like they used to do. Maybe there will be more companies that generate
So you think
if this is
you would
successful.
start creating a whole new secondary industry?
If we bring enough customers.
Sorry, I missed the one thing. It's brilliant app, it's good concept. I missed the one thing. Is this already put into practice or just at the concept stage?
These are all ideas.
With also your
Just an idea.
It's an idea. Okay, if it's idea, there's a practical question you need to answer. Is that at the moment those recyclers they run around and they find where it's possible best chance to get more recyclable from garbage bins and more household. If you call them up to collect, they have to calculate their time and what they get. Do you have a bar? You know, how you can't call them up to collect a plastic bottle for 5 cents. You have to justify their trip. How are you going to manage that?
Right. First, I think it's really very easy to build in a function in the app where you can put in the amount of things that you want to be recycled, and then the recyclers on the other end can see them. And another way to do it is simply people won't call the recyclers up for just one bottle. People usually collect, like, for example, a few bottles and some other papers and other recyclable things when they call them up, because it is not only a time that is used for the recyclers, but for the people too. Nobody wants to waste their time for like 5 cents.
So it's another self-regulate the balance. Sure.
Part of we can build the restriction on the app too, which is easy.
Thank you. Yeah.
So your 1% commission is based on how much recyclable waste being delivered to the recycler, and maybe they have 100 bottle, and then they can get maybe like $15. So your 1% commission is based on this $15, isn't it?
Right.
So, but how do you measure? How do you check? How can you check how much recyclable waste being delivered to the other end?
As we said, the transaction and the calculation are both built in our app. So the recyclers, it's also more convenient for them to use our app, the calculation built in to calculate the price, because we will list the categories of the waste and what is their price, and they can just do all the transaction in this one thing. Also, they wouldn't fake the number because the recyclers wants to have, eventually they're paying more money to the people, so.
And also at the first page of our app, we put down all the different materials that can be recycled, and we also have the price for it. So the recycler can see what's the price for today, or what's the price for this week. Yeah.
So nearly all the transactions are done online, so we can keep track of them by ourselves.
One of the other questions I had, loved the fact that you used Uber as an example, because I think that's a neat model. The other question I had was around timing, because one of the great things about Uber is it guarantees you within 10 minutes of,
Right.
you know, and that's whipped the market, right? Because the cabs haven't been responding.
Right, but the difference is that Uber is when you want a taxi, it's kind of an emergency, but when you're trying to recycle, it's really not. So what we didn't call it like we will contact a recycler to come here right away. What we said was scheduling a pickup,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's more flexible in this.
So then you can, the recycler can start to think of zones and you
Right.
can work that. Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Well, I do understand that it's not too easy to to start a business in China. So with your age, do you think you can easily get a license or to start your business? Have you checked that part?
License? Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure it only takes an adult to start a business, and one of our team members is almost 18. Also, we can surely cooperate with our parents, who actually, her parents work in the recycling business, and my parents is actually in the computer business, and we can get help from these places too. And there, even if we want to, we can maybe, when pulling this out, we can maybe contact even venture investors, maybe see if they like our idea.
Good. I have two questions. The first one is, I realized the chart was cost chart. The first 6 months, the app cost development of app is 0.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got one.
If you or your parents or whoever help you, and how you justify how you confident can make this app work if you're just at the concept stage, great. How you
It's
can
gonna
be
be
sure can be actually
Making a basic function of these apps shouldn't be too hard because I have taken some computer science course too, and as I mentioned, even my dad can give me some help on this. And even as the app develops, the cost of updating the app, running the server will increase. So that's why we added the 5,000 yuan in for the after 6 months.
yeah, good. Second question, to get this app up and going, you need 2 sides to sign up. This
Right.
great scheme. First of all, is users.
Right.
Secondly, is the recyclers. There will be somebody doing a lot of work to let public aware with such great app available or on the WeChat. Secondly, the recyclers. Those recyclers need to sign up on the scheme. They have to
Right.
put their name in and they have to be part of the game. And we have to persuade them they actually better off to sign up than they run around by themselves. So those will be the big hurdle. Helping confident to get both sides sign up this scheme.
We mentioned the marketing strategy. We are putting advertisement out, and the leaderboard thing that we mentioned, where people can ranking them among their friends, because people are always competitive. If they are in like the top higher place, they would like to share this leaderboard in their social media, and thus this will motivate more people to come in and use our app. And as on the recycler side, first, as Jerica mentioned, we are giving them some money for the first how many people that signs up in this business, and also we are on the marketing. I mentioned that too, because we are bringing more people who will give them the recyclable goods, and it's generating more profits, more income for the recyclers too. It is a benefiting business for everyone involved, essentially.
Thank you. Very good.
I'm still confused. Who's signing up the recycler?
It's an app, so they can just download the app and register.
So, in New Zealand, if you were very poor, you wouldn't have a phone.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that
Yeah.
smartphones in
So-
China can be as low
So
as
those guys would also have a phone.
Right. And
Okay.
another situation is, maybe in New Zealand, I know that a lot of plan texting is free, so people can talk to other people for texting and calling.
Yeah.
But texting is actually quite expensive in China, so people have to have an internet-based app on their phone for texting for free. And that's why smartphone is even more prevalent in China, even
Okay.
among the poor population.
Okay. That's a really subtle difference.
Right.
Critical one.
I know.
Subtle.
Yeah. Do you have any plan that if you do starting this project, have you contacted any, say, government officials or environment authorities to give you some help to
Right. Marketing part, not yet, but we are planning to. Actually, we are also thrilled to see the potential of this business as we are researching into it. And I think, based on these data, it has a wide range of applications. And I'm sure those environmental organizations and government, we will surely contact them once we started it. And I think we're very likely to get their support.
how people can get paid